Former Guns N' Roses manager exposes unbridled chaos of the most dangerous band in the world. Alan Niven had zero desire to look after Guns N' Roses, a rock band discovered from the gutters of Los Angeles. "I thought they were a disaster from everything I heard on the street," the group's former manager told Fox News Digital. "Their reputation was dreadful. There were arrest warrants. There was drug abuse. There was just unbridled chaos." Niven has written a new book out on August 5, Sound and Fury, Rock and Roll Stories. It details what it was like managing GNR as well as Great White. Fox News Digital reached out to the members of Guns N' Roses for comment. Niven claimed that Tom Zutaut, the A&R man who signed GNR and Motley Crue in the 80s, asked him to manage the group on 3 separate occasions. With gritted teeth, Niven eventually agreed. "I was not particularly interested in being part of a cattle call of management," Niven explained. "I had another band that I had just brought out of the ashes of a disastrous relationship with EMI, and we were getting that into proper shape. The second time he asked, I did some research on the band, and I thought Tom had lost his mind," Niven admitted. "I thought the band was going to be a disaster for him. And the third time he asked me, he said it was a disaster, and he couldn't get Eddie Rosenblatt, president of Geffen Records, to allow him to start recording until they had a manager. He said, 'Would you please pretend to manage them?' Niven recalled. "I said, 'Pretend I'm out of my mind. Okay, I will go take a meeting and see what happens.'" Niven claimed on the day of the meeting, only guitarist Slash showed up. He was impressed. "He was very English eloquent," said the New Zealand-born Niven. "He was very charming and intelligent. I looked at him and went, there's more here than appears on the surface. I'm interested now. That's how it started. But why did I end up managing Guns N' Roses? 'Cause no one else would do it. They could not get anybody to work with them at all. I was their last chance at them getting a manager." The group's debut album, 1987's Appetite for Destruction, is one of the best-selling albums of all time. But before its release, Niven said he was worried about going into debt. Between drugs, mood swings, and other salacious indulgences, Niven was in charge of wrangling the bandmates into the studio and getting them to record on time. In those days, a band might only get an advance of $50,000 to $70,000 to make their debut record, said Niven. It was extraordinary that Geffen would have spent $365,000 on a debut record for a band. And it's not just the cost of the record. You also have the cost of the videos, the tour support. God knows what debt you would build before you even sold record number 1. "That's when I learned how to get insomnia," he said. "I would lay in bed and go, we're going to be $500,000 in debt on this record. God knows if we're ever going to dig out of that hole." And we got no airplay for the first 6 months of the record's release. MTV ignored us as well. It was a slog. But Niven's lack of sleep eventually paid off. "One afternoon, Slash and I were in a town car being driven to Electric Ladyland Studios in New York," said Niven. "We were about to turn left, and I noticed there were a group of kids in leather jackets running after the car. At that moment I thought, things are a little different. That's when it all changed." GNR earned the nickname, the most dangerous band in the world, due to their antics on and off the stage. And managing them came with more responsibilities than Niven bargained for. In his book, Niven recalled how he once put Slash in his spare bedroom to make him go cold turkey, because he was not one for rehab. "My wife and I took turns watching over him, wiping the vomit from his mouth and counting out the Valium," Niven wrote. It didn't get easier with drummer Steven Adler. "Stevie had to be forced into rehab," Niven wrote. Exodus, Hazelden, Eritusen. "We came to know the rehab centers of America as well as we knew the concert venues. You have to fight the battles of addiction alongside the addicted, even if only they can win the war." In the book, Niven also remembers the group preparing to leave for their tour of Japan. On that day, frontman Axl Rose was late. Guitarist Izzy Stradlin held up a small boombox and said, "I don't care. I'm set. I've got my stash." Niven was hoping Stradlin was referring to his stash of preferred tunes. Under the battery compartment was a lump of crumpled foil. Niven ordered him to flush it. "Well, that's a effin' waste of good smack," Stradlin replied. Reluctantly, he gave in. Iz had indeed gotten rid of his stash. He'd swallowed it, Niven wrote. He should have been excited to be going to Japan for the first time. He was, however, waiting on Axl. Again. Dope helps deal with that stress. I don't know how people A.